Welcome to another episode of Politik with your sure plug on politics and happenings in the polity, Dr. Omosholadeji, your favorite political scientist and public affairs analyst. Well, today I have a great of I have topics lined up for you that we are going to be discussed and assessing today. You know, this is where you get the finest conversation on politics and happenings in the polity. I'm streaming um, in a different way today. So I hope everything goes well, and I hope that my viewers are just going to like my streaming. So I'm trying my streaming in a different dimension today because the other streaming method is not as perfect. So I hope this comes out well. So I'll be waiting for your feedback. And today, of course, I've got great topics lined up for us to politic together. Today, I'm trying to fish out my various topics that I've lined up for you for us to discuss. First, we'll be talking about Defense Minister Bello Matawalle. Bello Matawalle, yes, Bello Matawalle has been accused by his successor, the current governor of Zamfara State. He has said that Bello Matawalle has been hobnobbing with bandits. So, what does that mean to you if a defense minister that is supposed to defend the integrity and sovereignty of the country is being alleged to be hobnobbing with bandits? What does that mean for you? What does that portend? We'll be discussing it live today on Politik with Dr. Omoshola Deji, your favorite political scientist, public affairs analyst, and also we'll be talking about Tinubu's deployment of soldiers for the Edo governorship election. Yes, you may have heard it in the news that the president deployed soldiers for the governorship election in Edo State. The president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, deployed soldiers. What does that mean? What is the implication of deploying soldiers? What is the role of soldiers in electioneering? Does soldiers have a role? If yes, what is the role of soldiers in the electioneering process? So today we will be examining that, and we will be enlightening and educating ourselves on these major issues of politics and happenings in the polity. So you have to sit back, relax, and see what happened. And also, let's not forget, gunshot as Yahaya Bello resist EFCC arrest. Yes, gunshot as Yahaya Bello resist EFCC arrest. Yesterday we discussed at length the issue of Yahaya Bello, and it was reported in the news today that the EFCC raided the Kogi governor's lodge in the middle of the night to effect the arrest of Yahaya Bello. And you will be wondering that, but this guy was at your office in the morning. What's up, EFCC? Why didn't you interrogate or detain this guy? So today we'll be examining that. We'll be looking at that as well. And also, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, currently at the moment is saying, well, I want to rest. Enough of the trouble, enough of the wahala, enough of the travels. Kashim Shetima, my deputy, go and represent me, okay? Go to the United Nations General Assembly and go there to represent me. Right now, I am not available. I just want to attend to national issues. But you ask yourself that, okay, if you want to attend to national issues, are you supposed to miss an important occasion like that of the United Nations General Assembly? So we'll be looking at this issue of the president saying, oh, now I want to have my rest, so Kashim Shetima go and represent me. So when the president says that I want to rest and I want to attend to, I didn't say no, sorry. He didn't say he wants to rest, rather. He said he wants to attend to Nigeria's economic challenges. What does this mean when he says he wants to address Nigeria's economic challenges? Has he been attending to Nigeria's economic challenges before? And if he has been attending to it, how effective has it been? I'm streaming like in a different way today, so I'm trying to do my setting to make sure that we have a good streaming experience. Like I told you guys, my regular viewers, I've told you guys that this platform is a work in progress, and trust me, I am doing my best day and night to make sure I bring you a wonderful streaming experience. Okay, to make sure I give you a wonderful streaming experience. So I actually want to test whether I can hear myself here. Okay. I can hear myself. So since I can hear myself here, that means that you can also hear me wherever you are, because I try to test it on my device here to see how it appears. And I think it looks great, right? Isn't it? So this is how we will be streaming from now on. And I plan to improve greatly on it. Now we have the phone in session, and trust me, as always, it's going to be a wonderful and interesting time on today's episode of Polythink with Dr. Omoshola Deji, your favorite political scientist, your sure plug on politics and happenings in the polity. This is where we make it happen. This is where I bring you all the great analysis of what has happened in the Nigerian polity. And trust me, like always, it's going to be a very good time. And I actually wait for some of my loyal viewers to come on board so that they can tell me their experience with this streaming, whether it makes sense, whether the audio also makes sense as well, whether everything is going on fine at their end. I look forward the way I stream, because I noticed that actually I got a report from some of my friends and families that the way I stream, that the background is a little bit dark, and that maybe I can do it in a better way. So I decided to use my desktop to stream live from the YouTube studio, and I think that makes more sense. So I still have, some settings to do. I still have some effect to put in place, and trust me, it's going to be very wonderful. So now, if you have been watching me like this before, like your phone is usually like this. Now you can turn it like this and have a great viewing experience. You can also turn it like this. And first, maybe I should ask, how is your day? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Again, this is Polythink Live with Polythink Live with your favorite political science. And one of them is Defense Minister Matawalle has been accused of collaborating with bandits. What does this mean? When somebody that is to be in charge of security is being accused by his successor of collaborating with bandits. What does this mean? If the defense minister of a country like Nigeria is being accused of collaborating with bandits, so we'll be looking at this and what is really happening. Is it politics? What is the relationship between Matawalle and his successor in Zamfara State? What is the corruption allegation against Matawale? So we'll be looking at all this today on Polythink with Dr. Omoshola Deji. So we'll also be looking at Tinubu deployment of military for the Edo governorship election. Yes, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has deployed the military for the governorship election in Edo State. What does this mean? When the military is being deployed during election, what is the role of the military during election? Should the military be deployed during election? And what is the consequence of deploying the military during election? We'll be looking at all these and more on today's episode of Polythink with Dr. Omoshola Deji. And also, gunshot as Yahaya Bello resists EFCC's arrest. Gunshot as Yahaya Bello resists EFCC's arrest. Also, as a bonus, we may be looking at the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has sent his deputy, um, Senator Kashim Shettima, to UNGA, that is the United Nations General Assembly. He has sent his deputy. He said he wants to sit back and attend to urgent economic issues in the country. So we'll look at the personality of the president, what he has been doing before now, and the way he kind of like sees Nigerian people. So we'll be looking at that as well tonight on Polythink with Dr. Omoshola Deji. Maybe I should start with that of the president, right? him sending his deputy Kashim Shettima to Onga, that is the United Nations General Assembly. Well, if I can say the United Nations General Assembly, there's one thing about it, right? One thing about the United Nations General Assembly is that the assembly, it is like the carnival of presidents and head of state. It is the carnival of president and head of state, where head of state and president, where they meet yearly to kind of like discuss and share ideas and talk about happenings in their country. That is what takes place at ONGA. ONGA is the United Nations General Assembly. So all the countries that makes up the United Nations, will be represented by their president. We see the United Nations General Assembly, what is like the World Cup, right? It's like the World Cup, what I can call World Cup. World Cup is like the highest football tournament, right? So if I can use football, the United Nations General Assembly ONGA is like the World Cup in terms of international meetings, if I can put it that way, whereby when leaders of the world meet, the ONGA, United Nations General Assembly, is like the World Cup. The AU, we have AU summit, we have ECOWAS summit, but the United Nations involves all the countries of the world meeting together at the same time. It involves all the countries of the world meeting together at the same time. So what does this mean in when the president is not there, right? So for me personally, I believe that the United Nations General Assembly is something that right now the president should not miss. We don't know. You don't want to miss something like the United Nations General Assembly for any reason, because why? Especially if you need foreign direct investment, if you need military assistance, if you need aids and loans. This is where you meet your counterpart, right? Either by the sidelines or by a scheduled meeting. So the hunger is not something that you want to miss. And some of these countries, they want to speak to the number one, right? So if you are talking about Nigeria, some of these countries will want to speak to the president of Nigeria. So if the president of Nigeria is not present, well, the vice can represent him, the vice can act for him, but then it's always better for the president of the country himself to be present at any point in time in such a meeting. Then another thing is for follow-up meetings. There's usually follow-up meetings, right? Like the president now, maybe Nigeria has been having a talks with another country, and maybe they thought that maybe during the hunger, instead of the government officials to come to Nigeria, or for Nigerian officials to come to the other country, they will just want to meet at that hunger, and both of them would have said, okay, you bring this document, you two bring your document. Then they would just sign it during the United Nations General Assembly as an aside. Then they will take the usual photo ops. You understand? You know that everything about government, there's usually one photo or the other. So signing of agreement sometimes usually take place at the United Nations General Assembly. So it's a place of what I can call buying and selling of ideas, buying and selling of resources, buying and selling of leadership thought, and it is also a place whereby countries will sell their ideas to another country. It is a place of lobby. Imagine at the UN General Assembly that every president is present. So imagine that, okay, let's imagine that they want to vote now whether they should support Ukraine or Russia, for instance. So at the UN, the General Assembly, you will see countries that are be lobbying. Lord Lucan, I see you. God bless you, my brother, for helping me press the love button. Lord Lucan is saying, Shalom, Dr. Oloruko. What is your full name, Lord Lucan? Is there Shola in your name, or is there Omo, or is there Deji in your name? Do well to tell me your full name, Lord Lucan. God bless you. I appreciate you. I'm happy to have you on this platform. And I appreciate all of you for giving me the like button today. I have this is the first time that I don't have much people watching me now, and the like is equivalent the like is equal to the viewers. Lord Lucan, okay, let me engage you a little bit. You've watched my live stream before, right? Please do well to answer to me, because you see that my video today is appearing differently. So I need to ask you some questions for me to test how it appears. First, does this appear? Wait, Lord Lucan, have you watched me before now? Have you watched my live before? Have you been watching my live session? After that, I would like to know how this video appears, because this is one of my effort to make sure that we have a better live streaming experience. Okay, you've been watching me before now. God bless you, Lord Lucan. So please, sir, how does this appear? Which one do you prefer? This one or the way I usually appear live before? Which one do you think is better? Which one do you think is better? This one or the way I usually appear before? Because I just thought maybe I should change pattern so that the place can be more bright, and we can have a great viewing experience. And the 7-7 is greeting me, my brother. Thanks for coming on today. Do well to like this video. Do well to go. Okay, Lord Lucan is telling me that this is better. Okay, and the 7-7, I know you've been watching me before now. You see that the video appears differently today. Okay, Lord Lucan says this one is wonderful. Okay, wow. Says this one is wonderful. My promise to you guys is definitely we are not doing this for a week. We are not doing this for a day. We are not doing this for a month. We are even not doing it for a year. We are doing it as much as possible. Okay, Lord Lucan is telling me that it is brighter. How about the sound, Lord Lucan? Please, I would like to get your comment about the sound. Is the sound also okay? Because I'm streaming from another device, and a whole streaming experience entirely. So please do well to tell me, is the video sharp? Is it bright? Does it sound okay? God bless you, Folaon Fashe Yiton. God bless you. He says this is very bright and sound great, commendable. Okay. Lord Lucan says sharp audio. Okay, that means I'm living up to my promise. One of my people that are watching me for people that watch me, that have been watching me for long, when I started this platform, I told you guys that me, I love perfection. So I try to put in my best to make sure that anything I do, there's a touch of perfection in it. So you know that before there's no phone in session. Let me even call. Okay, say, and the 7-7 say the sound is good too. Okay. I think I can post. The phone number. Let me say I. Okay. I want to say I now, and let me just say hello everyone. Okay, because I'm trying a new streaming means. So let me say everyone. Maybe you can see my chat. Okay, I just said hello everyone. Can you see my hello everyone, please? If you can see it, please tell me if you can see my chat. I just said hello everyone in the comment section, so let me know if you can see the hello everyone. Okay, you said okay. Folahan Fashe Yiton says yes, we can. Okay. God bless you guys for testing this platform with me. I quite appreciate your time. So let me also try to put the phone number, right? Let me try to put the phone number, and trust me, I'll be very happy to hear from any one of you, whether in the 7-7, whether it is Lord Lucan, whether it is Fola or Fashe. It will be great to hear from you. So let me put in the phone number. Maybe it will show. I just hope that YouTube will allow it to show. The number is +55 +55 13 13 99666 and 6361. Okay, +55 13. Let me just put it as phone in to contribute. Okay. God bless you guys for sticking with me while I test run this. Okay, this phone in to contribute as +55 13 99 666 6361. Okay, now let me post it. Can you guys see it? Did YouTube allow you to sail through? That's what, instead of me to be calling the number every time. So I want to see, maybe this can sail through. Maybe I can pin it in, I'm in the comment section. Can you guys see this, the phone number? Please let me know, please. I will appreciate. Okay, for now, Fasheto says yes, yes, we can see the Lord. You can also say yeah. Oh, I'm quite happy. That's good. Maybe I'll just be streaming like this. So, okay, I want to pin the message now. Okay, and yes, it's pinned. Actually, I'm happy. We are making progress, my people. And Adeola Ononuga says yes. Okay, the phone number is pinned to the comment section. Please go to go to the top of the comment section. Please confirm. Is it still there? Is it pinned? Is it pinned at your end? Please help me confirm whether the phone number is pinned at your end as well. Can you see it pinned? Because I just pinned it, so it will appear at the top of the comment, right? Okay, you said it is pinned there. Maybe we should be doing this, or what do you guys think, right? I think this is better because, one, my face is brighter, though I'm still working to give you like a very good background. Actually, what I want is a situation whereby at my back I will have a large flat screen TV, that if I want to play a video for you to be connected to the system, maybe I want to bring you up to speed on something, I can just move away, and you guys will be able to kind of like see what I'm showing you. And over time I want to put, when you are watching TV like channels or Arise, there's this display at the bottom, those display, right? I want to kind of like effect that too in the days ahead. So this thing has really stressed me today. For me to achieve this, it has not been quite easy, but we give glory to the Lord. Ure, ure, ure. And I'm happy with the response that I'm getting from you guys. So if you want to phone in, we will be glad to hear from you. I have some returning viewers, and the 77 is a returning viewer, and Lord Lucan, and so many of you. But you guys have not been phoning in. Is it that you don't have any contribution to anything going on in Nigeria? Let me hear from you. Just pick the number from the something. Okay, and the every 77 just says from that. But so that is, you can call in via WhatsApp, and it will be I'll be glad to hear from you. So, like I said, today we'll be talking about, first, I'll be telling you another elite, another ruling elite that is lamenting. Day before yesterday, I told you guys about Joe Igbokwe, right? And I told you guys about Jimmy Disu, the veteran journalist that is lamenting about the Emilokon economy. And yesterday, I played you the video of Jimmy Disu, right? And Lord Lucan, I'm coming to your question. So when OT Doju, I don't know, Jonathan Olutunde, can you write this in English, please? He said Oti Doju Nisin. Oti Doju Nisin. You didn't even write it well, right? Or did you write it well? He said Oti Doju Nisin. Oti Doju Nisin. So, and that's from Jonathan Olutunde. Well, the thing is, as I was saying, this man, Jimmy Disu, I played you his video yesterday, right? While he was lamenting. Today, I will read for you what Iba Gani Adams, Jare Onokakankfo of Yoruba, he too is, he has started lamenting. So I think it is a season of lamentation, not just for the ruling elite, not just for the poor people, the talakawas, but also for the ruling elite as well in Nigeria. So I think it is a lamentation season. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is busy flogging everybody left, right, and center. Okay. So the topic today is Defense Minister Matawalle collaborating with bandits, says Zamfara governor. Zamfara governor, the current governor of Zamfara, Matawalle, handed over to him. So when your something is when your who do you call it now? When your successor is accusing you, it's just like let me say, um, Bola Ahmed Tinubu accusing Goodluck Jonathan, no, but Bola Ahmed Tinubu accusing Buhari of sponsoring bandits in Nigeria. Just imagine that. So I'll be diving into a very deep analysis for you about the consequence when state actors are being accused of having a hand in insecurity. The consequence when state actors are accused of having a hand in insecurity. So I'll be giving you that in-depth analysis. I have my notes ready, and trust me, I'll be sharing my in-depth thoughts with you. And also, Tinubu deploys military for Edo governorship election. You can imagine when the military is being deployed for a governorship election, what does that mean, right? When the military is being deployed for election, an election like that of Edo State, should the military be deployed for the election? What does it mean when the military is being deployed for an election? What are the consequences of deploying the military? What signal does it send to people? And also, gunshots as Yahaya Bello resists EFCC arrest. Yesterday we talked about Yahaya Bello. The number is pinned in the comment section. Please try and dial me on WhatsApp and let's politic together. So I'd love to hear from you. The number is pinned in the comment section. Feel free to dial in and let us politic together. So what does it mean when gunshots decide to go to Yahaya Bello's residence and say, "Oh, we want to arrest him"? When somebody shows up at your office in the morning, you didn't interrogate him, you didn't do anything to, all of a sudden, in the night, you said, "Oh, you want to arrest him." We'll be dissecting these issues. And also, I think you guys are asking me questions as about politics and happenings in the polity. So let me take the questions on politics and happenings in the polity. Lord Lucan says, "What's your permutation for Edo State?" Lord Lucan, did you miss my live video on Sunday? Did you use my live? Did you miss my Adeola no guys stop using block letters? Okay, yes, it's true. I think some people don't know, so let's just correct him fairly. Jonathan Olutunde, if you are using block letters to type, what it means is you are shouting. That's what block letters means. So if you are using capital letters to type, that means that you are shouting. That is simply what it means. Okay, Lord Luca, you said you watched a bit of it. Oh no, you missed, because I think you should go back, find time when you are happy, make sure that you watch it if you are truly interested in Edo State. I spent like over 4 hours, right, dissecting the politics of Edo State, and I said I'm going to do a series two, but then the series two is just like the concluding part is not going to be as hot like the series one. The series one, that I did on Sunday, is very, very hot, right? So you may want to go back and watch that particular video. It's a very interesting one. Lord Lucas says, please post the link here. So I'm using this means to stream for the first time, so I'm being careful not to dabaru the streaming. But what you can do is, if you check my live video on Sunday, Lord Lucan, you will see it from the thumbnail, which is like the poster, where I talked about the Edo State governorship election. I tag you that how the Edo State governorship election will be won and lost. You may want to catch up with that. It's a very interesting in-depth analysis that I gave on the Edo State governorship election. I can't remember the topic quite well. I think I said the politics, dynamics, and how the Edo governorship election will be won and lost. So you may want to catch up with that. Lord Lucan, I appreciate you. If you want to call in, pick the number. It is pinned in the comment section at the top. Pick it, dial me on WhatsApp. Maybe you want to share anything about politics and happenings in the polity in Nigeria or in Africa. I'll be glad to hear from you. And Lord Lucas says, shouldn't the military be deployed to bandits enclave? Well, we will get to that. Lord Lucan. It's part of one of my political masterclass series for today. And Lord Lucan is saying, shouldn't the military be deployed to bandits enclave? And okay, Jonathan Olutunde is asking Adiola why he says he should stop using block letters. Jonathan Olutunde, if you are using block letters on a platform like this, if you are using block letters, what it means when you type in block letters, right, which you can also call capital letters, when you are typing only in capital letters, it means you are shouting. That is what it means. When you write in capital letters throughout, one of the meaning, amongst other meanings, but the one I can remember right now is that you are shouting. And imagine, there's no reason to shout. So just write in the normal capital letter, the normal small letters, capitalize the first word when necessary. I'm seeing all the comments as it is coming in, and trust me, I'm taking them. And Michael Fidel is saying, greetings, doctor. God bless you, my brother. So Lord Lucan, I may not be able to get the link right now, but please check my live video for Sunday, right? So do we guys agree that I should be using this method of streaming, right? You guys says that it appears better, it appears clearer, and it is quite better than the way I used to stream before, right? Okay, that is quite interesting. So let's go into these analysis, right? Let's go into some analysis for today. First, let us start with the president. The president said is sending Kashim Shettima, the vice president, that Kashim Shettima go and represent me at the UN General Assembly because I want to attend to economic issues. Could this be true? Let us look at the past record of the president when it comes to economic issues. Right? If Nigeria if Nigerians are suffering, right? Okay, and the 77 said, I have already learned one lesson for today about this capital letter of 18. Sure, from here we learn from each other. Okay, we don't criticize, we don't abuse, and I'm sure Jonathan Olutunde has also learned something. And he said Lolukan is worried because of Madam State. I don't can you put that in context, Adiola Ononuga, because of Madam's State? What does that mean? Then Lolukan says, as Jonathan, typing in all caps is generally not recommended in most online communication, as it is often perceived as shouting or expressing strong emotion such as anger or urgency. Okay, God bless you for that clarification, Lord Lucan. So if the president says, I want to sit back, let us reason now, okay? Let us politic. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says, I want to sit back, let me sit back and attend to the economic issues in the country. That there's a lot of economic issues. We'll look at it that, okay, is it true that there are economic issues? Yes, there are really economic issues. But the president, has he shown much care about the economy and people? Surplus link, I see you. God bless you, my brother. Has he shown great care as regards the economy and people? Let us look at it from that angle first. Okay. And one of the ways to see it is, if you care about the welfare of the people and you remove fuel subsidy, and for over 1 year, I was looking at the Tinubu administration, I was examining the administration, first month, second month, 6 months, 8 months, 1 year, and I was imagining that, does the president not know that this removal of fuel subsidy, that people are suffering? Does he not know that as he has removed this fuel subsidy, it is making Nigerians to suffer, that people will be crying under hardship, and you removed it, and you didn't care about how people will be surviving after removing the fuel subsidy? To me, what does that tells me? That, to me, contradicts you being caring economically, in quote. It contradicts what you are saying, that, oh, now you want to sit back and care about the people. Is it truly that you are caring about the people, or you want to use it for personal engagement, or could it be that you are truly sick? Because if, for instance, if you have a husband, if you are a woman and you have a husband that doesn't sit at home, that no matter what you use to convince him, he will say, I'm going out. No matter what, he will say, oh, I'm going out. He will give you different excuse. And suddenly, that husband decide to sit at home 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. Won't you be wondering that this one that my husband is sitting at home, is there nothing wrong? So I look at it from the angle that, one, has the president changed? Has it changed? Or could it be that there is something wrong? So while I was examining it, whether the president has changed, what came to my mind is, first, is from the beginning of his administration is fuel subsidy gone. And now imagine that, fuel subsidy gone. But wait, if this man cares about the economic welfare of Nigerians, when the fuel subsidy was removed, it was the governors that are enjoying. They were busy sharing the money amongst themselves. They didn't remember the ordinary Nigerians. They didn't remember the ordinary civil servant. So if you are sharing money amongst yourself, and now you are saying that you care, do you really care? Or you are just trying to bobo us? Or you are just trying to lyrics us? Or you are just trying to play on our intelligence? Because past evidence of your administration, of your actions, of your attitude, of your policies have not shown that you truly care. Right? Have not really shown that you truly care. Okay, if you remove fuel subsidy, the president was said to have studied, I think, accounting, right? Accounting is a close course to economics. They are both, commercial courses. So if you study accounting and you study economics, it is quite a bit close, right? So I believe that the president will know the basic principle of what? Of economics. So if you study accounting, you will know the basic principle of economics. So if you remove fuel subsidy and you now increase electricity tariff, does that show that you care about the people? That's another point that came to my mind when the president said, oh, I don't want to go to UNGA, that is United Nations General Assembly. Kashim Shettima, go on my behalf. I want to sit back and undo the economic issues in the country. I'm like, Bola, is that true, or you are just trying to lyrics us? But Bola, do you really care? So I was just thinking in my mind about the administration that if you don't increase worker salary and you remove, electricity tariff, and almost immediately you decide to float the naira, you remove all form of government subsidizing, all form of government subsidy on the naira. That is what? 3 major strokes. You flood Nigeria. 3. Nigerians are so poor that, based on our definition of as the world poverty capital, that our people cannot survive 1 stroke of cane. The removal of fuel subsidy alone is a serious koboko for Nigerian people. They can't survive it. It's a very serious koboko. So when you now flog them with fuel subsidy, why? Instantly they are yet to recover. When you flog a small child, the way that child will run, come back, when that koboko enter body, the way that child will run, and as if you want to fly like jet. You flog Nigerians with fuel subsidy, Nigerians are yet to recover. All of a sudden, what did you decide to do? You remove electricity. That is another stroke on Nigerians. You now did the third one. The third one, which is the one of the one of removing the subsidy on dollar, which is 3. So imagine when you remove the subsidization on dollar, what does it mean? What it means is that everything that you buy in terms of goods will go up, and also it will have impact on services too, because the goods that are being used to provide those services are also bought with those dollars. Let me explain to you. For instance, if you have a company and you are producing, your raw material that you are using to produce, what can I use now? Let's say you are producing, what can I use? Let's say you are producing, I'm trying to think of something. When anything comes to my mind, I'll tell you. So let's say you are producing something and your raw material is being imported from abroad. Those raw material, because it is being imported, when they remove the amount on dollar, when they remove the subsidy on dollar, won't you increase your price as well? So as you are adding the effect of the money that was removed based on the dollar, also you are also adding the money that you are now spending for electricity. You are also adding it to that goods. Also, the cost of fuel, because you will run on generator and diesel, you are also adding it to that goods. That's why you see that in Nigeria, before Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into office and after I came into office, the price of things is times 3. I told one of my friends, I said, if you don't want to be disappointed, if you have gone to market for a long time and now you want to go to market, what you should do is make sure that if you buy that thing, maybe 1,000 naira, for you not to be disappointed, go to market with 3,000 naira. Yes, you heard me right. For you not to be disappointed, that thing that you bought 1,000 naira, just go to market with 3,000 naira. If not, you'll be very disappointed. Because why? The price of goods have gone up. So if you are not considerate and upon all these increments, you didn't deem it fit to imagine how people would have been happy if Bola Ahmed Tinubu just woke up on his own within his 1 year in office without labor clamoring. He just woke up on his own. And imagine breaking news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent new minimum wage bill to National Assembly for ratification. Let's imagine, how does it sound? Let's imagine, how does it sound that breaking news, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu sent new minimum wage bill to National Assembly, and he used the power that or should I say the influence that he has on Akpabio to say, Akpabio, oh yeah, sign this National Assembly and sign this minimum wage something with immediate effect. Pass it with immediate effect the way you pass this national anthem. That, oh yeah, pass it with immediate effect. I want this thing, I want it passed. And Akpabio, in his yes sir kind of style, passed it almost immediately overnight. Nigerians would have been praising President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Imagine that he just increased it from 30,000 to 70,000 without labor going on strike, without labor saying anything. Imagine how Nigerians would have been happy. But that didn't happen. Labor went on strike. And when labor went on strike that time, and we're clamoring, I told you guys some time ago that I watched the president's video after labor's first strike. That first strike, I think the strike lasted for like 2 days or so. When labor was clamoring, the president was in Lagos, and he was even ridiculing the leadership of NLC, that labor should know that they are not the only one that can protest for Nigerians. What am I trying to say? We are extraying the attitude of the president. We are extraying president-citizen relationship to look at how the president truly cares, or whether he truly cares or not, based on his statement that Shetima should go and represent him at the United Nations General Assembly, that he wants to stay back and attend to the issues bothering Nigerians. So it's me as a political scientist, I told you that I'm trained to see all but believe nothing. What do I believe? I believe the truth. Hear all but believe nothing. What do I believe? The truth. So when the president said it, I was looking at, is this a political statement? So my mind was just, running about. And I'm like, no, this is a political statement. It's like when they were saying Buhari was Mr. Integrity. When Buhari was contesting for second time, they were saying, oh, man of integrity, man of integrity, man of integrity. But at the end of the day, we saw that, this man that you are calling man of integrity, I can't see any any iota of integrity in this one. Oh. And I looked at it and I decided to research it then, that is there truly integrity with this man? The first thing, as I sat down to research it, the first point that came to my mind is, men of integrity don't collect stolen things. When they did the coup and they gave the power to Buhari, they were saying, oh, Buhari didn't participate in the coup. It is the coup plotters that believed in him and say, oh yeah, come and sit down. That to me looks like a lie. Because Buhari is not a superman. They will go and hustle, then they will give the reward to Buhari as what? So those people that did the coup, if it is true, so they don't like power. If they don't like power, why did they perpetrate the coup at that point in time? So you look at it that this thing is not believable. But then I said, okay, even if the people that said, okay, Buhari, go and be president, go and be head of state. If it is true that Buhari didn't know about it, if he truly has integrity, why did he collect stolen thing? Why did he collect stolen things? Men of integrity don't collect stolen things. I've given you that lyrics today. So anybody that comes to you and say, oh, Buhari, man of integrity, no, tell them, men of integrity don't collect stolen things. But then, that time, I was to write a piece as regards the election at that time. And I thought that if I write this article, this thing that I'm saying, it will be like as if I'm favoring Atiku, because it was Buhari and Atiku that time. I'm like, what's my business with Atiku? Let them sort themselves. That's why I didn't release the piece at that point in time. I just ignore that. Let them face themselves. Whether Atiku or Buhari, Nigeria will still go from worst to worst. From worst to worst. That is the truth. So the president saying, oh, I want to stay back and attend to economic issues. Is it true? Or he is attending to personal issues? Or could it be that his health is truly declining? Because, like I said, if you listen to me at the beginning of this work, I said United Nations General Assembly is the World Cup. It's the World Cup in terms of meeting between leaders of a country. It's the World Cup. Which country want to miss World Cup? You don't want to miss World Cup. And I told you the effect of the president being present. That even there may be some negotiations that would have been going on between Nigeria and some people. There will have been negotiations that will be going on between Nigeria and some countries. So it may be at the sideline of that hunger that they will sign those agreements and do their photo ops. It may be there that they will sign the agreement and do their photo ops. But when the president is not present, there are some times that you really want to speak to the number one. Why do you want to speak to the number one? Because if you speak to the number one, nobody can overrule the number one. Are you with me, people? That's why countries like to speak with the number one. If you speak with number two, which is the vice president, his position is subjected to the approval of the number one. So there are some times that when you are speaking with number two, you are just doing it for the sake of doing it, because you know that that thing can eventually be cancelled. It can eventually not go through, because when the number two gets home and he reports to the president might have, a busy, might have another idea entirely. The president may not take the position of his vice. And what does that leave us? What that leaves us as a country is that all man for himself, God for all of us. So Shetima doesn't have the final say. That's why at United Nations General Assembly, people usually like to speak to the president. They know that once you speak to the president and the president show you green light, you can go home rejoicing. Because nobody will change the decision of number one. But now it is Shetima. People will be reluctant that, oh, I will wish the president is here. So that's why, being the World Cup of international meeting of committee of head of state, presidents don't miss United Nations General Assembly. The president doesn't miss it. And when the president now wants to miss it and he says he wants to attend to economic issues back home, then we need to ask ourselves, Alaye, have you been attending to economic issues? Do you really care about people's survival in this economy? If we don't look at it back and trace it back, You just take it hook, line, and sinker. That the president said he wants to sit back and talk about the economy. So if you remove first subsidy, you remove subsidy on dollar, on petrol, and after some time, when people are screaming, "Ebin power," within a month after that time, or less than 2 months, you still increase the price of fuel again. Does this not have effect on the economy and people's lifestyle? So how do you care about the people, right? That is another aspect to look at it. Then another aspect to look at it is, if you really care about the people, right? If you care about the people, why will the people say don't buy private jet, don't buy that private jet, and you decide to go ahead and buy it? Where does that leave us as a country? That don't buy private jet, but you say, no, I'm the president, I will buy it, and you go ahead to buy it. Where does that leave us as a country? So is that economically favorable to Nigerians? So for me, I don't believe it when the president said he wants to stay back to attend to economic issues. No, because the president has not shown that he largely cares about the economic challenges that Nigerians are facing. It is more like a political statement, and that is why, as a political scientist, you are trained to reasoning broad. It's not everything, it's not every food they serve you that you will eat. Sometimes you look at it that, why are you serving me this food? You know, jollof rice is supposed to be like, have this kind of like brownish red color. But why is this one yellow? What's the ingredient you put inside it? How will you give me a rice that is yellow and you'll be calling it jollof rice? So you need to have this broad thinking, right? If the president has reduced the number of his cabinet, if he has not bought that private jet, if he has not increased the price of fuel again, right? If he is making life convenient for farmers and he says, oh, I want to sit back to address the economic challenges, I will believe. But to me, it's more of him attending to his private life, especially his health, right? And sincerely, you can't cheat nature. You can't cheat nature. That is the truth. If a president have moved from Saudi from Saudi Arabia to Dubai to UK to France, attending to issues of state, it too will say, well, let me attend to myself. I can't keep myself. So I think that is what is happening from my own personal interpretation, So having said that, we'll move to the issue of Yahaya Bello, right? And I see your comment, Lord Lucan and Adiola Ononuga is saying the kitchen cabinet can it says look at this. No, Adiola first said Tinubu lied that he brought Econet when he merely bought shares with Lagos State Financing. You see, when they buy shares with the resources of the state, you know what they do? You know what they do when they buy those shares? Some of them, they just corner it. When you buy shares and you use state money to buy shares, the what is coming out of that shares belongs to the state. But what do you have? When the dividend of those shares are coming, some of them, they just pocket it. For instance, they said Nigeria has shares in this Dangote refinery. What shares does Nigeria have? The money coming from that shares, right? The profit, the dividend is supposed to belong to Nigerian people. It's supposed to be given to Nigerians. It's supposed to go into Nigerian purse. But the money, most times, will be diverted by people in government. Will be diverted. That's what we usually have in Nigeria. Personalization of, and I told you guys that, what happened during the days of Awolowo as regards the signing of is it contract or something with Coca-Cola. And now people are saying that, I don't know if it's transparent to be corrected, that if you open a bottle of Coke, that 1 naira is going to, as at then, maybe it has something has increased now to 2 naira or 1 naira 50 kobo. I had it many years ago that 1 naira is going to the purse of the Awolowo family. That if you are opening Coke and it's doing ch, that ch, As you open it, 1 naira has gone to Awolowo family. Now, if that is true, do you know how many people are opening Coke in Nigeria right now? Do you know how many conferences, how many birthday, burial ceremony, naming ceremony, weddings that they are doing in Nigeria every day? Do you know how many bottles of Coke are being consumed? You think it's small money, right? So these people sometimes what they do is they just live there for themselves and their family, unfortunately. And Lord Lucas says it's not true, it's attending to nature's call. That's what I believe. Lord Lucas, I agree with you. When I heard that news, that's what came to my mind, that I think maybe the president has personal issues that may be relating to health or something like that he choose to attend to. Not that, see, if Nigerians are crying of economic hardship, does Tinubu doesn't look like somebody that will really give a damn as it is. Because even when the price of fuel was increased, it wasn't even in the country. And I told you guys that that is the first time in my life that I will ever see a president increase the price of fuel and it's not in the country. I've never seen it. Yes, you heard me right. I've never seen it in my life. That the president will want to increase the price of fuel and it's not in the country. Because why? When you want to increase the price of fuel, it comes with serious consequences. It comes with grievous consequences. So you want to be on ground to be able to manage the situation. Because if you are not on ground, may your case not go be like that of Yakubu Gowon, whereby he was outside the country. And as powerful as he is, despite his role in Biafra, it was when Yakubu Gowon left Nigeria for this AU something that year. He just said that they've removed him in Nigeria. So what if when they increase that fuel, when they increase the price of petroleum products recently, what if instantly people have taken to the street and started protesting that, oh, we no go gree, oh, we no go gree, and the president is not around? What if people have already orchestrated, a coup against his government and is not around? It makes it easy to remove him from office. But I think he knows that he is on ground, and he has his back covered. Maybe he thinks he has maybe strong, devoted loyalists that that spirit of nothing they happen, nothing they share we dey, you understand, men mount, men dey, all those kind of things. I think that is what is happening. And even after the fuel subsidy, they are still saying they want to increase VAT, and the president is not around. And I'm thinking, well, are you thinking at all? Did you not learn anything from Yakubu Gowon? You know, did you not learn anything from Yakubu Gowon? So Adeola Onuga says Colonel Fadile confirmed Buhari was part of the December 31, 1983 coup plot when he testified on the coup plot trial. See, you see, that is why if you are not sound politically, let me tell you the truth, they'll just be feeding you with lies in Nigeria. Do you know why I went to do that research? When they are saying Buhari is a man of integrity, do you know why? What prompted me to do that research? I remembered I was watching the campaign on TV, and the usual way of Adams Oshiomhole, the former governor of Edo State. When he's talking with gra gra giri giri, you look at the way he has been doing in Edo State. TV is the one campaigning, and he was shouting, he was screaming, he was rubbishing Atiku. He was saying, oh, Buhari, this election is about integrity. And I was like, integrity. Is Buhari a saint like that, as this man is saying? I just said, I was just free that day. Let me even research about this Buhari. I have not even pressed anything that my man told me, Deji, why are you wasting your time? Buhari became military head of state through coup d'etat. You know when you are talking to yourself and you say Deji, and you are answering yourself, yes, what are you doing? I want to research about Buhari. What do you want to research? Have you forgotten that Buhari came into military coup? Do men of integrity receive stolen things? When you plan a coup, you have stolen power from the legitimate, and to make it worse, I think it was during Shagari that they did that Buhari coup, that Buhari came in. You know, I stand to be corrected. I'm trying to remember well. I think it was the Buhari sacked Shagari, which is a democratically elected government. So the question now, it now begs the question that, do men of integrity receive stolen things whereby you sack a legitimate government and you put yourself there? So I just end the research there. I didn't even conduct any research. That there's no integrity in Buhari. Let me tell you the truth. I don't see any integrity, because men of integrity don't receive stolen power. And also, if you look at the way power evolve, maybe I'll come and talk about that on another day. How people, how they, how any government, any administration, their tactics to gain power, the tools that they deploy. If I can summarize, for instance, during Jonathan's time, people, he gained power through divine sentiment. That people think that, oh, this man, he has not contested, he has not contested for president, he has not contested for governor, and he became president. That is God at work. It's God that has programmed this man to help Nigeria, and he became president. He got that popular support. During the time of Buhari, you remember the importation of bandits, as alleged by Kau Baraje, one of the APC stalwart, which is Saraki's ally. And this man that used to call himself um, chief servant. You remember chief servant? This man, this man, former governor of Niger, Babangida Aliu, that used to call himself chief servant. Babangida Aliu said it on AIT that they imported bandits, that they sent this thing, what Yoruba usually call Aroko. Some of you that are Yoruba, if you can give me the English name of Aroko, you know what they call Aroko? The ancient way of passing message, whereby when our fathers, when they were young, you know, before they born us, before the advent of GSM, the way they pass message, that thing Aroko, that they will use it is called kola nut. That there's something that you do to the kola nut, and you send it to the bandit in Mali, all these places, that when they receive it, it is a message that their brother is in trouble, come and help. That was what El Rufai and the likes of Buhari did, so that if Jonathan want to mess up, they will unleash mayhem. And today, Nigeria is suffering from banditry. Nigeria is suffering from banditry. And banditry now has come to stay, because the bandits survived 8 years of Buhari administration. I think that should lead me to one of my topic. You know, that will lead me to one of my topic, which is Defense Minister Matawalle is being accused by his successor in Zamfara of collaborating with bandits. When your successor accuses you of collaborating with bandits, what does it mean? If you are a defense minister and you are being accused of collaborating with bandits, and it is being said that you are butting car for bandits before, you are a sympathizer of banditry. What does this mean? You will recall that this guy, Patami, the fake professor. You remember Patami? Isa Ali Patami, Buhari's minister, that fake professor. Because to me, he's not a professor. I can tell you that I know what it takes to be a professor. So when Patami decided to join Buhari's cabinet, imagine the effect of that. Whereby somebody that his tape was being recorded, his tape is circulating, whereby he was even crying. My God, he was crying. Do you know what it means to be crying? He was crying, shedding tears. That, oh, why are you killing these people? He was crying, shedding tears. So if somebody that is shedding tears, which shows that he is a sympathizer of bandits, how will you make that person a minister and put him in charge of the data of every Nigerian? There was a time I went to register one SIM. I was telling the guy attending to me that please, oh, it's because I don't have a choice. So don't give my data to Pantami. Oh. Because terrorism is an ideology. An ideology doesn't die quick. Terrorism is an ideology. Do you think if it is not an ideology, something that you are made to believe in, if it is not an ideology, do you think it's easy? That they will say, oh yeah, Jonathan Olatunde, come and attach bomb to yourself. Oh yeah, go to market. Adeola Onanuga, Lord Lucan. Oh yeah, go to the market. Go and explode yourself. Eh? You don't go look the person say, even if they never pay me salary, now on me say make I go kill myself. Even if country hard. But then some people have been radicalized in such a way that they easily decide that the next thing for them is that they want to kill themselves. They just want to do what? They want to kill themselves. Right? Bandits. They'll just say, oh, now the next thing is for them to kill themselves. You can imagine that. Right? So for me, I'm trying to check a setting, my people. Sorry, if I'm talking slowly, I'm trying to check a setting. Please bear with me. I'm looking for a particular setting. I hope I get it. I hope I get it. I'm not seeing the setting though. Just a moment, my people. Please bear with me. I'm checking for a setting. Okay, I've seen it. Okay. So as I was saying, they say, oh, come and go and bomb yourself. You won't cause that person pay. What do you mean I should bomb myself? Bomb what? Bomb kill you there. So if you have people that have preached that in government, and to not make it worse, governor of a state, now minister of defense, accused of compromising the defense of a country, you can see where we are in Nigeria. You can see that our journey is still long. Our journey is still what? Is still long. So what is the effect of this when somebody like Matawalle is being accused of banditry? Ordinarily, government officials should be as white as snow. You heard me right. They should be as white as snow in such a way that you can't be. It's just as if you are mentioning, you are saying that. It's just as if you are saying a pastor that is supposed to be casting and bind is a witch. That's how it is. Those are two contrasting something. How will a pastor be a witch? How will a pastor be a witch except something is wrong? So when you say that a defense minister is involved in banditry, what does it mean? What are the consequences? Then the first thing is you find out that a non-stakeholder, non-state actor, is acting as a stakeholder in government. You know that all these bandits, they are non-state actors. So if non-state actor is acting as a stakeholder in government, for instance, I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example, a very quick example. One of the examples I can give you is, you see that during election in Lagos State, you see talks coming out to say, don't come out to vote. If you come out to vote, Yashukudi, you will die. Chukwuemeka, if they burn you well, no, come out to vote. Except you are willing to vote for APC. What does that mean when that occurs? What that means is simple. Is that you have made those talks a stakeholder in government. So when you eventually win, they see the government. They see government where I participate. Say so will do I contribute to install. You cannot go against them because during the next election, you will need them. So even if you are raiding thugs, you are just doing it on a temporal basis, because you know that next election I will need these guys. Oh, I will definitely need these guys. So don't let me go all out against them. You know. So what that means is that they are a stakeholder in government. Then if bandits, if they use during Buhari's time that they were allegedly imported, if those bandits now use 8 years of a government that is favorable to their activities, of a government that is sympathetic to their cause, of a government that they see themselves as a stakeholder in, of a government that believes in them. Do you know the implication of that? After 8 years, they cannot leave that environment. Because for you to survive in 8 years in a place, a lot of things would have happened. So many things. And I'll give you an example. One of the things that would have happened is they would have married. Yes, you are hearing me. They would have married. They would have fallen in love. Imagine if bandits that came in during Buhari's time, are you telling me that those bandits for that 8 years, they didn't fall in love with those bandits that were brought from all this Sahel, Mali, all these places? Are you telling me that for that 8 years, they didn't fall in love with any Nigerian? Are you telling me that they didn't give birth? So the more they fall in love, the more they give birth, the more their child is enrolled in school, the more they, the more they survive in a thriving environment, the more they want to stay. The more they want to do what? They want to stay. So if bandits came in 2023 and you give them it back to back, not that governors are sympathizing with them, not that governors are now making them to look like superstar. As they are coming in, you are firing them back to back. You are flogging them, giving them water. You know what that means? Do you know what that means? They will be destabilized. A bandit that knows that the military is coming for him, that is hearing bomb, that is hearing sporadic gunshot, how will he have time to fall in love? You understand? How will such bandit have time to be stable? He cannot be stable. Because why? The military is eating them very hard. But when government is sympathetic to their cause, when they have governors that are sympathizing with them, when you have a governor that will say, oh, and we've paid them, they disappointed us, we've paid them. Imagine that. Are you imagining that? So if a governor will say, but we've paid this bandit, they just want to blackmail us, they just want to make us look bad. Do you know what that means? 8 years of Buhari presidency. For that 8 years, they are falling in love. They have married. They have given birth. Some of them have given birth to 1, 2, 3, 4 children. And you know that these guys, they believe in many children. So that means in 8 years, a bandit that was imported in Nigeria may have given birth to children 4 or 5 times. 4 or 5 times. So that means they have settled down. Where do you want such a bandit to go to? We are looking at it realistically. So whether anybody likes it or not, Nigeria is their home. Because if you look at it, banditry has been profitable. If a bandit can tell a farmer that, come and pay me, if you don't pay me, don't dare go to that your farm or you go to harvest. If not, I will kill you. Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means to the farmer? Right? Do you know the implication of that on the psychology of the farmer? Are you with me? So if their occupation is thriving, if they are succeeding, what do you expect? What do you expect? And you have people in government that are sympathetic to their cause. Imagine a government official, a former governor, being accused of being a sympathizer to bandits. Imagine the shame. What a shame. What a time, what a moment to be a Nigerian. And to not make it worse, it's not an ordinary former governor. It is now the Minister of State for Defense. The person that is supposed to protect you, that's supposed to guide you, is being accused of supporting bandits. So during Buhari time, we have a Pantami. During Tinubu's time, we have a Matawalle. So that means that bandits, terrorists, they are adequately representing government when they have sympathizers. Although Matawalle in 2021 in Zamfara, he used the Holy Quran. I need to point that out in fairness to him. He used the Holy Quran to swear that if me or any of my family are involved in banditry, he said that in Arabic, which is like he is taking a vow that Almighty Allah should pass judgment on him. That's the way I see it. Like he's taking a vow that, oh, if he's involved in banditry, if he's truly a sympathizer of bandits, the Almighty Allah or something like that. I don't know what he said in Arabic. I need to state that. But as I said, I am trained to see all but believe nothing. What do I believe? The truth. When I saw that, I was a bit skeptical. Why? You see, when Aboki tell you wallahi talai, if an Aboki tell you wallahi talai, if it is those Aboki that have never come to Lagos, those Aboki that have never traveled out, if it is those Aboki in the remote village that have never seen civilization, believe them. Because they will never say that wallahi talai in vain. But I've seen it that, you see all these Aboki who don't come Lagos, all these Aboki who don't soji, Matawalle schooled in UK, all these Aboki who don't travel out, who don't taste money, wey be businessmen wey dey travel abroad, if they tell you wallahi talai na fake o. E just as if people in the southwest or in the west, if they're saying, for example now, so for instance, the metropolitan Yoruba, some of them will say Olorun means true to God. You know, so many people say that in vain. True to God, true to God, true to God, true to God. I didn't do it, true to God, wallahi. You know, if you go to Lagos, there's a lot of fake true to God. So when they said Matawalle swore with the Quran, I'm like, hey, Matawalle is a cosmopolitan Muslim. Like those Muslims that have stayed in Lagos. Any Muslim that says wallahi talai, all this Aboki, if maybe I go to Kano, one of their remote village in Kano, or maybe I go to Sokoto, their remote village in Sokoto, and an Aboki, and I met an Aboki that he says wallahi talai, I go believe him. Because why? That Aboki never open eye, he never soji. He takes that wallahi talai, he takes it very seriously. That wallahi talai is very important to him. But you see all these Matawalle, all these Buhari, all these Tinubu, all these Muslims wey don't taste money, all these Muslims wey don't enter private jet, all these Aboki wey don't come Lagos, wey don't mingle, wey Lagos blood don't enter them. If they tell you wallahi talai, if you believe what they say and you don't cross-check, you find yourself to blame. So I find it hard to believe Matawalle, because why? He's a cosmopolitan guy. He doesn't belong to the people that usually take those wallahi talai seriously. With profound respect to him. That was one thing I noticed. Matawalle, which kind of wallahi talai? I don't too believe you. You know. So for me, government officials must be white as snow. And when non-state actors are stakeholders in government, there is a problem. Now, what are the consequences when top government officials compromise on security or promote insecurity, what are the consequences? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 consequences. What are the consequences that a Pantami in government, a Matawalle in government? Because let's not forget that the governor of Zamfara, the current governor, being the chief security officer of the state, as much as I want to believe that Matawalle is not collaborating with bandits, but the governor, will he speak in vacuum? Will he speak in vain? With all the resources available to him as a governor, will the governor speak in vain? Will he speak in vacuum? That is something that we must wonder. I'm trying to do a setting, my people. That is something that we must wonder. So for me, you ask yourself that why we people that are in government be involved in insecurity? What are the consequences? I said when I want to come here, I do my research. At least I prepare my notes. Number one is loss of life. You see, I was moved to tears. I was moved to tears when I was researching this thing. I was hoping that the outcome of the research will not be applicable to Nigeria. But as I was researching it, all the things, all the points that were coming out are present in Nigeria, are very applicable to Nigeria, are evident in Nigeria. That made me sad. For instance, they said if top government officials compromise on security or promoting security, there will be quantum or mass loss of lives. Look at how many lives that we've lost in Nigeria. Are you with me? Look at how many lives that we've lost in Nigeria to insecurity. Right? And these people, you know what? It emboldens. If you are in a place and people are killing and there's no consequence, tell me what will stop you from killing. Just tell me what will stop you from killing. There's nothing to stop you. There's nothing to stop you. You too can also decide that, oh, this person assault me, I will kill him. Loss of life when government officials compromise on insecurity. And that's why you see that every day, have you not noticed? There was a time I stopped listening to Nigerian news. You know why? When you open your TV, don't take my word for it. You can examine this thing. Some years ago, when you open your TV to listen to news, all the news that will be said from A to Z, it is sad news, sad story. Bandits kidnap, terrorists bomb, militant killed. That's all what you'll be hearing. No good news. But if you listen to the news in other countries, you know what you'll be hearing? The government commissioned this, the government commissioned that, this is happening, that is happening. Good news. Things that relate to progress, things that will make you happy, things that will give you joy, things that will make you proud that you are what? A citizen of that country. Things that will make you proud that you are a citizen of that country. Those are the news you'll be hearing. Government is planning to construct this. Government is planning to build that. Government is trying to create this. Government is improving on this. Government is investing on this. But I notice in Nigeria, it's always sad news, sad story. Boko Haram bombed, terrorists killed, bandits kidnapped. Loss of life. Another one is erosion of trust in government. Public trust. And you can see all these things, they are evident in Nigeria. People don't trust government anymore. Erosion of trust in government, because when the people that are in government, when they cannot act right, you will do what? You will lose trust in the government. Erosion of trust in government. No trust. Nobody is trusting the government. If government says something, people will be like, Erosion of trust. In fact, trust is basically dead between Nigeria and a citizen. There's nothing like trust in Nigeria. You know, nobody trusts Nigerian government. Erosion of trust. Another one is weak rule of law, which I think I've explained a bit before now. Weak rule of law. No rule of law. You know, when, rule of law is equality before the law. Equality before the law, if I can explain further, means if Omosholadeji commits an offense, he should be brought to book. Even if he's the son of a governor, if he's the son of a president. If Adeola Ononuga commits an offense, he should be brought to book. If Jonathan Olutunde is the son of a governor, he should be brought to book. Whether it is Lord Lucan, anybody that commits an offense should be brought to book. That's what rule of law means. It means equality before the law. That means that if you commit an offense and another person commit the same offense, they cannot leave that person and now punish you. No, they cannot give that person minor punishment and give you major punishment. No, it is equality before the law. Equality before the law. But when people in government are compromised, can there be equality before the law? Can there be equality before the law? Jonathan Olutunde said the book has disappeared in Nigeria. You know? Is there equality before the law? When bandits have been served pepper soup and jollof rice, torí Ọlọ́run. When the repentant Boko Haram terrorists are being served pepper soup and jollof, even human beings, citizens, where they obey law and order, never see jollof rice chop. They never see jollof rice chop. In fact, which day people eat jollof rice last? Jonathan, which day you eat jollof rice last? I know say you be big boy. You dey chop turkey. You dey chop turkey every day, chop the bone. But if you dey eat jollof rice every day, Jonathan, shey na everybody for your community see jollof rice eat? Shey na everybody? No be everybody now. What does that tell us? It tells us that people are suffering. So to the point, equality before the law. Equality before the law will not exist. Weak rule of law, as I put it. Then injustice, which I said I was sad when I realized that all these things are present in Nigeria. Injustice. When you lost a loved one, you are not supposed to think of the revenge or all this reprisal attack that you hear in the north. That, oh, this community has gone to hit that community, this one has gone to hit that one. Reprisal attack. But when nothing is being done, why wouldn't there be reprisal attack? So injustice will be common, because when the people in government are sympathetic to, when they do something wrong, they won't be. For instance, during Buhari's time, S-men, I was ashamed of myself as a Nigerian when, like, 6 months, all what we are talking about as a country is cow, 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 cow. If you open the news, all what you'll be seeing is cow. All what you'll be reading about is cow. And I felt ashamed as a Nigerian that a whole country, that all what you can be talking about as a country is cow. In the morning, cow. In the evening, cow. Every day, cow, 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 cow. And these people are having a free day. So where does that leave us? Injustice. As at that time, if bandits chop your farm, if bandits slap you, nothing go happen. No, Nasara during Buhari time, when they were wreaking havoc in Benue, what did Buhari told Otom? Accommodate them. They are your neighbor. They were seeing Benue people as unaccommodating, as intolerant. That was what they were seeing Benue people as. Imagine that somebody will come to take your land. Do you know that what land means to a bandit? What land means to a bandit is what land means to a farmer. What cow means to a bandit is what land means to a farmer. Because people that are doing farming, they've been doing it since the days of their forefathers. That land is very important to them. In some places, you guys don't know that land is even worshipped. Land is seen as a god. God with the small letter G, G-O-D, small letter G. Land is seen as a god in some part in Nigeria. For instance, in Ogoni land. Land is a cherished possession. In fact, you are being taken for how rich you are based on the amount of land that you have in some places. So land is something that it is passed from one generation to another. But you now have some people that in their own place, what you use to measure whether you are rich is the amount of cow that you have. They value cow. They cherish cow. Right? Some of them, they equate the life of cow to that of a human being. Isn't it? So if cow is so very important to you, and you now want to say because cow is important to you, you now want to use it to take over my land or to eat over my own farmland, you have failed to realize that what cow is to you, is what land is to me. So when there is injustice, when people in government, when they are complicit, there will be what? There will be injustice. Monumental injustice. Also, there will be increase in crime and violence. I realized that all these things are present in Nigeria. I felt sad. Increase in crime and violence. You see that everywhere you go in Nigeria, there's one pocket of violence, one pocket of crime or the other. Anywhere in Nigeria. It's just that the crime are different in different places. It's just that the crime are different in different places. If you go to the north, as they are dealing with their own banditry, people in the southeast are dealing with kidnapping. Some Igbos cannot even go home. The southwest, they are dealing with desperate armed robbers, Yahoo boys that have turned to Yahoo plus. They are dealing with their own. So everywhere you go in Nigeria, everybody has his own tears to shed. Increased crime and violence. Because why? People in government will not be able to go all out. Let me tell you something before I go to the next point. One thing I realize, is that you see people in government, some of the people in government believe in the ideology, the radical ideologies of these guys. That's one thing I realize. Some of the people in government, when they are saying, oh, Boko Haram, Boko Haram, Boko Haram, there are some people in government that believe in the ideals of Boko Haram. But you know why they cannot come out and say, oh, or they cannot allow Boko Haram to have their way. Do you know the reason? The reason why they cannot allow Boko Haram to have their way is because when Boko Haram establish an Islamic state, if Boko Haram establish an Islamic country, Boko Haram will not let them be in charge of that country. You heard me right. Boko Haram will not let them to be in charge of that country. They cannot be in charge of that country. So they are now kind of like lost. They are profiting from the present system that they believe is not the best. And at the same time, that system that they are profiting from, they are also what? They are also what? You don't understand? The system that is current, that they are profiting from, they are also against it in their body, soul, and spirit. So in other words, it's not, it is more like a conflict of interest. When you are against something, you are profiting from something, but that thing that you are profiting from goes against your ideology. You have this conflict of interest. You won't know what to do. That is what is happening to some of these people in Nigeria. They believe in what these guys are doing. Some of them. If not, why would the military want to go for operation? The military will want to go for operation, and Boko Haram would have known the movement. The military, Boko Haram will just go and raid military barrack just like that. Just like that. And they will do it and get away with it. Have you imagined? Have you asked yourself, have you not wondered that why? How can this be happening? Those are some of the things. Those are some of the reasons. Some of them believe in what these guys are doing, but they cannot allow it because why? They are presently profiting from the system. And if Boko Haram eventually establish an Islamic state, they know they cannot be part of it. They know they cannot be part of it. Boko Haram will not make them governor. Boko Haram will not allow them to be president. So there's a conflict of what? Interest. Now, that economic decline, another point rather, is economic decline. Look at our economy. If bandits have not disturbed people from going to the market, if they have not stopped people from going to the market, if Boko Haram have not stopped people from going to the market, let us be sincere with ourselves. Will food not be cheaper? Will the economy not be more buoyant? If bandits have not stopped farmers from going to farm, will the economy not be more buoyant? Will life not be more comfortable for people? Let's be realistic with ourselves. So economic decline. Another one, capital flight. When people in government, when they are compromised, when they compromise the security, what you have is capital flight. All these foreign companies, they have gone away. Some of them have gone to Ghana. And imagine, and these countries that went to Ghana, they want what? They want African market. They want Nigerian market too. Ghana doesn't have the market. We are the ones that have the population. But what are they doing? They went to Ghana to establish. Then they'll be bringing their goods to Nigeria. Capital flight. The money they're supposed to bring to Nigeria, they will take it to another place. Kenya, Ghana, these are the countries profiting. Then ethnic tension everywhere. Ethnic tension. This one no one agree for this one. That one no one agree for this one. Nobody won't agree for each other. We also have mass displacement. Sadly, mass displacement. That's why you see that in the north, you see IDP, internally displaced camp, internally displaced person, internally displaced that, internally displaced this. You see it everywhere in the north. Mass displacement. Then the last one, loss of international reputation. I will explain that to you. You see that loss of international reputation, do you know what it means? When there's a loss of international reputation, let me tell you something. If you want to collect visa, one of the things they look at, that what makes it easy, how easy it will be for you to collect the visa, is the situation in your country. The political economic situation in your country is what will determine how easy it will be for you to be able to collect that visa. The political economic situation in your country. If in your country, that country that you are, if there's too much political crisis, if there's too much economic instability, if nothing is going fine, if people are not prospering, they won't want to give you that visa, because they will think that for you to be coming from this country, it means that now poverty they pursue you come. So you want to leave your country because you are impoverished. You want to leave your country because of economic hardship. That's why you see that, unfortunately, most Nigerians, when they apply for visa, they are being denied. If you go to UK embassy, it's always like a crusade ground every day. If you go to US embassy, it's always like a crusade ground. There was a time that I got my UK visa. I was now talking to these guys that are working at the embassy. They said, we don't know why people usually come and apply for this visa. Those guys that usually help people to fill form. You know, those guys that use it as their own hustle, that they help you fill the form, they help you to pay. I advise you, don't use them, and if you use them, sit down with them and monitor, because some of these people, they just feel nonsense. They are just after the money they want to collect from your hand. So if you are not looking at them, scrutinizing what they are filling for you while filling the application form, they can make mistake. They can even misspell your name, and any misspelling in your name is visa denial. If in your passport your name is spelled as Omoshola, O-M-O-S-H, note that H, S-H-O-L-A. If when they are filling the visa form for you, they spell the name as O-M-O-S-O-O-L-A, you know it is also Omoshola. You know it is also Omoshola. Do you know the implication? Insert denial straight. Because why? What is on your application is different from what is on your passport. What is on your application is different from what is on your passport. So even if it is one word that is different, finish. So if you don't look at those guys that are helping you to fill your application very well at the embassy, they will make one simple small mistake that they'll just deny you the visa. You think, what have I done? What is going on? You know that it is that small mistake, that tiny mistake that they made, that has made them to deny you the visa. Because these guys, they make series of mistakes. So those guys were now saying, say Egbon. Egbon means bros. Say, Egbon, sorry, just a moment. Those guys were now saying, Egbon, we don't even know why people usually come for this visa, because they don't usually give them. I said, He said, yes, so that sometimes in a day, during collection hour, when people are going back to collect their passport, they say sometimes it is only 2 people that they will give. Do you know how many people are submitting application in UK embassy daily? UK is making bastard money from visa application. UK, US, those two. It is always like a crusade ground. Some of you that have gone there will have testified to it. They say, we don't know why people usually come and they don't give them. I said, really? The guy now said, yesterday, that in that time, he was referring to the day before. The guy now told me that, Egbon means bros. Say, bros, yesterday, out of the people that came to collect back their passport, there is only 2 people that they gave. That I said, how do you know? He said, as they are stepping out from the building, if they give them, you will know. From their look, you will know. You don't need anybody to tell you that the person that they give, the look on his face will be cheerful. But the one that they don't give, that you would have seen it, that there's no way you can fake it. If they didn't give you the visa, it will show on your face. That the two people that they gave the visa the other day, he said, Egbon, do you know who they gave? He said, one old mama and papa. I said, eh? He said, yes. So that one old woman and one old man that are using stick, that are already very old. He said, those are the two people that they gave visa. UK visa something in Lagos, in Ikeja. That's what I'm talking about. There's only two people that they gave the visa. Just two people. And do you know how many people would have come for passport collection on that day? Hundreds of people that they didn't give them. Imagine that. So the day I was going for my own, I already know that, because, and one of the things they look at is the purpose of your travel. You see, these countries, they like when you want to go and spend money. Let me tell you some things based on the little experience I've had on travel. They like when you want to go and spend money. Right? When you want to go and spend money. And if you are not going to spend money, there are some risk age. Let me put it like that. High risk age. You know what high risk age is? The age that you are still active. The age that you can still go there and share with it. The age that you can still go there and begin to, follow their citizens to fight for their jobs. If you fall into that age, you are of high risk. The probability that you get visa if you don't have a genuine reason is very difficult. You cannot say, oh, my uncle is getting married, so I want to go and attend the wedding. They won't allow you. What is that high risk age? That high risk age is if you are, let's say, between 15 to like maybe 40, 48 or 45, thereabout. That is high risk age. And you know what? 90% of people that apply for visa are in that high risk age. 90% of people, if not 95, are in that age. Between 15 to like 50 or 48, 90% of visa applicants are in that age. Because why? They want to go and hustle. They want greener pasture. But if you are past 50, you are now falling under low risk age. They know that at that age, there's a limit to what you can do. So if you are applying and you are in low risk age and they assess your document and they see that it is okay, then you are favorable. But if you fall under high risk age and you are applying for document, they will scrutinize you, check you, recheck you. In fact, some of you don't know. Let's learn from each other. Some of you don't know that these people sometimes, they will go and put your name, your name, they'll put it on Google and see what it will bring out. That's why be very careful about your social media handle. I didn't intend to talk about this, but we just got into it during the analysis. Be very, very careful about your social media handle. You want to travel, you are posting about social media in your social media handle every day. For instance, as strange as it is, every day you are abusing Bobrisky. You are saying, this cross-dresser, the day I meet him, I will punch him. Those people at that embassy that you are going to apply for that visa, if you fall into the high risk age, sometimes if they want to know you more, they will put down your name. They will put it on Google. They will put it on all these social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. They will search for you. When they see you there, they will now be looking, what is your lifestyle? What is your value? What is your ideology? And the best way in this social media age to know about the lifestyle, the value, the ideology of a person is through their social media. It will reflect who that person is. If you go to somebody's social media, It will give you a bit of reflection of who that person is and what that person could believe in. So let's say you want to go to America, whereby in America, all this nonsense, same sex, all these things is very prominent there. They see it as a right. And you want to go to America. And that America that you want to go to, you submitted, you apply. And after applying, say that you want to go to America. They are now looking at your social media. They now see that you are the one saying that you are part of the people saying they want to go and stone Bobrisky. They now look at it that who is Bobrisky? Cross-dresser. You in Nigeria, there's not many cross-dresser. That the one that is available, you want to stone him. But in our country, there's so many cross-dressers. You see them everywhere. That means that your own value, your own belief, your own orientation, your own psyche contradicts what is prominent in our country. Instantly denied. I'm telling you, instantly the visa official just denied, visa denied. So some people don't know that what they post on social media usually affect their life. Some people, they will post different girls on social media. Some people will be posting bottle of wine, bottle of beer. There are some people that every day they are posting that they are in one party or one club, they are drinking one wine, they are, those visa officials that want to grant you that visa, when they go to your social media and they search you, they will see it. They will go through all your profile. They will spend minutes to go through all your profile. They will see that this one every day is www women, weed and wine. Women, weed and wine. Some of you will say, oh, you are an engineer. They will go through your profile. You see that engineer, tailor ni. Do not see that this one that says an engineer, is a tailor. Visa denied. Some of you don't know these things. These are the things that are finishing people. That they used to deny people visa. They will just look at you. Visa denied. A lot of Nigerians don't know that. So if you are coming from a country that is categorized as high risk, why? Because your currency doesn't have a value. There's so much political instability in your country. There's economic hardship. Let me tell you something. When dollar was 120, people were not getting visa. Let me tell you the truth. When dollar was 120, people were not getting visa. They were denying people visa. I remember when I got my Schengen visa that year, there was one of my friends that told me, Mosh, where did you see Schengen visa? Say, Schengen. Some of you, if you don't know what Schengen visa means, that's the visa that you can use to enter, is it 28? Yes, 28 countries in Europe. The Schengen zone. They have a common visa. All this Germany, Austria, Finland, Belgium, France, name them. The countries in Europe, about 28 of them, they are called the Schengen zone. In other words, if you have the visa of Germany, you don't need visa. If they give you Schengen visa in German embassy, you don't need another visa before you enter France. From France, you can enter Belgium. From Belgium, you can fly to Austria. From Austria, you can go to Finland. 28 countries with one visa. Just one. That's visa to 28 countries, Schengen. Very, quite. As at when dollar was 120, people were not seeing visa. Now that dollar is 1,600. I pity people. Nigeria, they suffer people. Now that dollar is what? 1,600. Tell me, how do people want to get visa? Because one of the things they will look at is what is your income. Some of you that you think you are earning big money. My salary is 400,000 naira. I'm a big boy. I'm a big girl. And you'll be threatening those people in your village. You know, you'll be only I better pass my neighbor every day, thinking you are rich. My brother, that 400,000 naira is not up to $400. So if you say you want to go to US for holiday to spend 3 weeks, that you lie that you want to go and visit your family, and they are looking at your account, they are saying that your salary is what is not up to $400. Out of that money you will eat, you have 3 kids. You have 3 kids. That means that out of that 400,000 naira that you are collecting, which is about maybe $350, out of that 400,000 naira, you are responsible for 3 kids. They will eat. In between, they will fall sick. And there are some amenities you provide: electricity, water, food, you understand, clothing. So that visa official will begin to minus it. Say 400,000 naira, 3 kids. He will minus some. Then we will now look at the remaining. At the end of the day, when he minus, the remaining may not be more than maybe $30. And you want to say you want to go to America. He will now look at it that $30, that is no more than the money you used to drink coffee and and have a good lunch, in a good restaurant. Is that what you want to go to? Where will you see flight money? Visa denied. Visa denied. That's what some people don't know. Some people are not aware of this. For instance, there was a time at this our Nigerian airport, Muritala Mohammed International Airport. I saw a guy, when those guys that usually help people to push load. Those guys. So I was now waiting for the car that will come and pick me. So the guy was on standby so that I go fit see one small change collect now. So as we were waiting for the car, the driver was close by. He now said, that bros. I say, me sef, I apply for visa before, but I don't know why they no give me. I said, say why? He said, I don't know. Say the thing really pain me. I said, did you do it yourself? He said, no, I use agent. I said, agent, okay. My man just asked him that, okay, the agent that you use, which account do you use? He said, I use my mother's account. That my mother is my sponsor. What do you say you want to go and do in the UK? He said, I want to go and study. Okay, study. How much was in that account? He said 400,000 naira. I said, they can never give you visa. You want to go and study in UK, a British university, you pay like 10,000 pounds. Let me tell you some truth. I studied in UK when money was still, appreciable. I give glory to God. But today, if you want to go to a university in UK and the average school fees is 10,000 pounds, let's say you want to go for masters, there are some schools in UK that their money is as high as 14,000 pounds. For instance, if you want to go to London School of Economics and Political Science, it's not a small money. The school of the fee for the University of Nottingham, for instance, is higher than that of University of East London. Because I have a friend that went to that University of East London. Maybe I've told you before, Ibrahim. So if you want to do masters in UK now, 10,000 pounds is what? 20 million naira. Yeah, you heard me right. 20. In fact, let me check my phone. There's this Aboki something. You see it? Pound. Let me show you. You see? Pound. 2,200. See here. I don't know whether this thing will show well. You see it? Pound. You see it? Pound. You don't see it? Pound. 2,200. So now, if you now put 2,200, let me put calculator for you. 2,200. 2,200 times 10,000 for school fees alone, that is 22 million. You want to go to a school that school fees is not part of accommodation, no, it's not part of feeding, no, it's not part of miscellaneous, oh, it's not part of flight money, it's not part of application fee, you know, it's not part of visa application fee, and the school fees alone is 22 million. You are now submitting a statement of account reflecting 400,000. Or maybe you try your best, you're able to get 2 million in that account, they will still deny you the visa. Maybe you try your best, you are able to put 5 million in that account, they will still deny you the visa. Because if your expenses is 22 million for school fees alone, they're expecting that in that account, let me tell you the psychology of these guys, they're expecting that in that account they will see like 40 million. So if you've not gotten that visa before and you want it, and your school fees alone is about 22 million, they will be telling that in that account you should have like 40. Immediately they see 40 million, visa approved, because they know that you can truly sponsor yourself. And because they know that some of you usually do ojoro, that's why UK will say pay half of the money in Nigeria before you go there. For instance, if the school fees is £10,000, UK will tell you, some UK school will tell you that pay £5,000 in Nigeria, wire it to the school, let the school confirm it, they will write to us, there will be proof, or when you apply they will confirm from the school before they now give you visa. And if you want to pay £5,000, that is like 11 million. So they know that if you are able to pay 11 million in Nigeria, you won't want to go there and let that your 11 million to waste. Don't mistake me, oh. Before this money now, at least I knew when pound was less than 200. I knew when pound was 250. I knew when pound was 500. Now pound is 2,000. So let us use that. Let's say before Buhari, I think pound was about 280. So this £10,000 now that appears like big money because it is at the rate of 2,200. Let us now use 280 naira. That's why I pity some of you that you support bad governance. The children of the rich are spending pound like pure water. You don't even have pound to help your life. Let us use 280 naira. Let's do something. 280 naira per pound that time times 10,000. That means you need 2.8 million. See, 2.8 million. As at one pound was 280 naira. Before all this, our government dabaru everything. You know, when Jonathan was in power, I think pound was less than 200 naira. As at the day Jonathan was leaving power, Buhari brought it from less than 200 naira to about 7 something, right? But Abola brought it from 7 something now to over 1,600. So imagine the middle class. That's why I say middle class. The middle class has been cut off. There's no middle class again, because as at when some of us had the opportunity to school, it's not that maybe we are super rich like that too. You know, it's not that we are super rich, but as at that time, you can still rugged your way. You understand? You can still rugged your way to say, okay, school fees, 2.8 million. Okay, I'm able to, you just be ruggeding your way. You can even see people to assist you. But now, school fees 22 million. How do you want to survive? How do you want to survive? When school fees when pound was 500 naira, let us use 500 naira. That's why if the Buhari years was a crucial year in your life, you are finished. Because do you know how many Nigerians are stranded now in UK that are unable to pay their school fees, that the school fees is, that the school is sending them away. Do you know how many Nigerians? Now let us use 500 naira. 500 times 10,000, right? 5 million naira. So there was a time that all you need school fees when you have that 5 million. You know that this masters in UK, you don't dey sure. Then you begin to look for other money, give or take. If you're able to raise like maybe 2 or 3 million more, you'll be like, okay, this to cover a bit for my accommodation. Then I no go dey eat anyhow now. I go just dey manage, dey rugged myself. But now, school fees alone, 22 million. And do you want to hear the truth? How easy is it to see that 22 million in Nigeria economy of today? Where do you want to see 22 million? How? Where? Who won't give you 22 million? Who wants to give you 22 million? That your uncle that you are looking up to, that you think is rich, himself, he see the hustle. The economy, they bite and they flog am too. Maybe his company has even collapsed. That company where they give am vibe. Don't you know that if you look around you, don't you know that the way people usually carry shoulder pad has come down? Don't you know? Tinubu will humble you. If you dey on generator 247 before you know it, when you come back in the evening, your neighbor go dey look you. Now wey Oga Tinubu don come, as you dey on the generator, after few minutes, you don off am. Because why? Money for fuel. Money for fuel. Let us look at this topic before I go. Tinubu deployed military to Edo State for election. In fact, the way we've abused Nigerian military sef should be protesting that is it a crime to be military? Why are you guys abusing us like this? Because if armed robbers steal, you deploy military. If protesters are protesting, you deploy military. Any little thing, deploy military. The ordinary election, you still deploy military. How many people are carrying guns during election? Is election a war? That you deploy military to Edo State. Have you not thought of it that why would the president want to deploy military to Edo State? No, now. Why? What's going on in Edo State? The military are trained to fight war too. So if you now want to deploy people that are trained to fight a war to where election is being conducted, excuse me, do you want them to go and fight war? What will happen in Edo State with all we deployed 32,000, 34,000, 45,000 policemen that police usually say that we deploy this, we deploy that. Despite all the deployment by the police and military, let's be sincere with ourselves, you still deploy, so the deployment by police, you still deploy military. Why? For what? Why? What are you deploying military for? Is there anything special in Edo State that the police cannot handle? That means you are telling us the police is a Boy Scout, right? That they don't know how to cope crisis. And don't forget that the police has its own, what I call military wing. Some of you don't know. You know that there's conventional police, those ones that wear black, blue, black. And there's also mobile police. Mobile police is the punching arm of the police. Some of you don't know. Mobile police usually have their own barrack or base that they are just there on standby, and what they are trained for is to curb violence. When there's riot, every riot, it is that mobile police that they will call to come and curb the riot. That's why you see that, notice Notice this thing. If there's riot in a place and those one wearing black, blue and black, and the thing is getting out of hand, later, all of a sudden, you see people that are wearing black and green. Those ones are the Mopo. They are the mobile police. They are specifically trained to curb crisis. That's their training. Anyway, there's Wala. If you don't pass the DPO, what did the DPO fit handle? He will call for the reinforcement, and help will come from the mobile police. So the police, that mobile police, is the military arm of the police. That means the police self has his own standby force for any insurrection. That's why you know I've said it that some of these our political leaders, they need to sit down in a political class to receive just tiny lecture, because any little thing you deploy military, any little thing you deploy military, protesters you deploy military, armed robbers still you deploy military, any little small thing you deploy military. The military are trained to curb external aggression. The police are in charge of internal insurrection. You heard me right? The military, you see this Nigerian military, they are meant to protect Nigerian border with Benin Republic. If we are having a breakdown of international relations with Benin Republic, you have to station them there on standby. On standby with Benin Republic. That's what, to curb external aggression. When trouble is coming from your fellow countries, your other countries, neighboring countries, you deploy your military force. When an ally country, a country that is your friend, is in trouble, you assist them with some of your military population. That's why you remember all this, ECOMOG, all this war in Liberia, all this apartheid something in South Africa, that Nigeria usually send the military there. That is what military is for. External aggression, and to help your neighbors when they are in trouble, you assist them with, to strengthen their military might. And when there is a regional call for a military deployment, like let's say ECOWAS now, Economic Community of West African States, they want to have their standby army to go and remove the coup plotters in Niger. Nigeria too will contribute a contingent of military force. Nigeria too will contribute to that military something. Say, okay, which we are contributing so amount. That is what the military is for. Mainly external, to curb external aggression. The police is any internal insurrection. They steal my phone, they slap me, they jam my car. That's why that the police are trained in a soft way, in a civil way, to be able to canvass you, to relate with you, to interrogate you. The military are not trained that way. It's to kill and destroy. That's what the military are trained for. It's the police that are trained in such a way that, in a civil way. So if the police have his own combatant arm, his own combat arm, which is the mobile police, the MOPO, why are you not using the MOPO for the Kogi election? At worst, you deploy some MOPO. You deploy so squad. For instance, Edo now is close to Ondo. There's MOPO 17. MOPO 17 in Ondo that have men on standby. You can take men from MOPO 17 in Ondo, post them to Edo, take MOPO from other states, post them, and they'll be on standby, because people will still be will still be feeling free if they are seeing police, whether it is mopo, whether it is the normal conventional police. But when you deploy the military, you are abusing the military itself. You are downgrading the military. You are insulting the military. You are trained to drive a trailer. You went to driving school, say you want to train me, I want to be driving trailer. After training, collecting certificate of how to drive trailer, they now give you Okada and say, oh yeah, be driving Okada, be using Okada to carry passenger. You that you are trained to drive a truck, to be moving goods and services all around, big truck. You now finish that training, they now give you Okada. Oh yeah, take Okada. Take. Be using it to be walking everywhere. Be using it to be carrying passenger. Is that not an insult? Is that not a downgrade? So they are downgrading the military. If you send military to go and during election, you are the president, you deploy the military to Edo State for what? For what? Is there war in Edo State? How can you deploy military when there's no war? You send them to go and fight which battle? What is going on in Edo State? Off-cycle election, that the police cannot handle. That's the way they abuse the military. That's why some of these guys, when you post them to go and do election, the day you now post them to war, because they are now used to, their skills have been downgraded. When you now take them to war, they'll just be dying like chicken. Because why? You have downgraded. If a military man is trained to fight war, and every time you are taking him to election, you are taking him to go and arrest armed robber, you are taking him to go and you've turned that military man to police. The day you take that military man to a war, the probability that he will die is high. Because why? You have reconfigured him. You have reconfigured him. And in the process of that reconfiguration will not be free. Because before he is reconfigured, he would have killed people. He would have perpetrated a lot of human rights abuse in the process of you reconfiguring him. Before you are able to reconfigure him, you would have wreaked a lot of havoc as a military man. He go don wreak many havoc. People life go don finish. Because at the slightest provocation, he will unleash harm. So over time, when it's now changing bit by bit, you would have changed him. You would have reconfigured him. Then after that, maybe there's now a war. You now take him to a war. How do you expect the military to perform? Because you've reconfigured them. They cannot be effective anymore in terms of fighting war. So when I read the news, I was only that, Mr. President, sir, how will you deploy military to Edo State? There's civil defense. There is police. Is it that election is happening in one state in Nigeria, only one state, and the police cannot handle the election successfully in that one state, not in all states in Nigeria? That if it is in all states in Nigeria, we say, maybe there's shortage of manpower. But one state, if I am the president, I will deploy the mobile police, not the military. I will deploy the mopo, so that if there is any crisis, that is what the mopos are trained for. As military have barrack, mopo too, they have their base like a barrack. Some of you don't know. It is the normal police that wear blue, black, that they don't have. That when they finish from their shift, they go back to their home. But mopo, some of them, they have a base that government built for them. Instead of deploying the military, why not use DSS? Is DSS not there? Which is a secret police to be sniffing information. Who want to snatch ballot box? Who want to rig? Who want to cause violence? So if you don't deploy DSS, if you don't deploy police, you decide to deploy the military, what is the implication? We'll use that as a wrap-up. One of the implications is intimidation and harassment. The military has short fuse. What you do to a police that you get away with it, if you do it with a military, it will pick offense quick. And when people see military, they easily get intimidated. So when you deploy military during an election and it brings intimidation and harassment, won't it lead to voter apathy? Voter apathy, when people are seeing military everywhere, will they come out and vote? And I hope that this military that are deployed to Edo State, I hope they won't be deployed solely to the stronghold of the PDP, so that there can be low voter turnout. You know that each political party usually have their own stronghold that they can vote, that they can vouch for. Edo State, now we get it's sure for us that historically during election it has always reflect. So I hope this military, they won't have heavy presence in PDP and Labour Party stronghold. I hope that's not what will happen, because that is also a